one and only CEO of Rebel Audio, of advertising lore, the one and only Jingle Jared, Jared Gutstadt, and of course his good friend and collaborator and partner, the one and only Maejor, creator, producer, multi-platinum. Gentlemen, get inside this show. We need to welcome them in here right now.
What a way to start the weekend, you guys! This is incredible. Where's Maejor?
I think he's coming. I think he's coming. We can't see his video yet, but methinks that it will arrive. Jared, I'd love for you to start this out and just give us a little color on how this this whole relationship of working together with Maejor formed in this incredibly unique project, award-winning project that came forth. I'd love to hear how this whole thing came together.
So my most spiritually elevated relationship in the entire music industry came about in the most in true Jingle Jared way, and one of the most like bizarre, juvenile, asinine ways. This is a true story, and Maejor, when we get him on here, can validate this. I had just gotten into my sort of like exit period where I had sold Jingle Punk, so I had a lot of free time on my hands. I was in a 5 that would turn into a 7-year earnout, which is basically they lock you down for 7 years. I went out a lot during that period. And one night I thought I was just leaving Craig's, where I go to dinner every night, and I got waved into a party, and because I was wearing a hat and some, flashy cowboy gear, they thought I was somebody that I wasn't. And I walked into a Kardashian birthday party, which is, if you ever get a chance to walk into one of those, do it. And I literally, like, the most random series of events. I thought I was talking, and this is not a joke or me even making this up, just because I was a little drunk. I thought I was there was 2 people there that looked the exact same. One was Ruby Rose and one was Justin Bieber. I thought I was talking to Ruby Rose because they were both wearing gray hoodies. And I was like, oh, I'm the king of jingles. I'm the biggest jingle of all time. And he kept on trying to get a word in. And I thought I was just like flexing, chatting with somebody. And then everyone's like, oh my God, like, what is going on? So Maejor and Pooh Bear, the 2 main songwriters and best friends of Bieber, hopped in to sort of like help me realign the conversation. They're like, yeah, Jared, this is Justin Bieber. He makes music too. He makes big music. And the next day, 2 friendships were born. With Pooh Bear, I went in one direction, doing like a lot of branded content for the UFC and Pro Bowl riding. I worked with Steven Tyler and Bob Dylan with him. On the other side, Maejor, who is big personality, you'll see he's hopping on in a minute, was basically going through his own journey on the music side. And I don't want to step on his story, but that turned into me learning about this sound frequency stuff as somebody who has been strictly very commercial as a creator my entire life. I never really thought about the healing aspects of what I do, or even just, misusing a cool gift that was given to me, which was the power of, making music. And there he is. Maejor, I was talking about the night we met. Oh, we keep losing him.
He's gone again. He's gone again. I think this is really interesting, though, especially Jared.
I lost you there for a second.
Oh, you lost me. Do you got me back? No.
How about now?
I think
technical difficulties.
We might have lost Jared too. But we can hear Jared, and I'll say he looks great in his cowboy hat. He looks great in his cowboy hat. What I'll say to you, Colin, I think this whole conversation with like frequencies, like preventative health, like alternative routes to take care of oneself, there's a lot of development in consumer on this right now. We had Sunflower Sobriety. We had him on last week talking about what they are doing app wise to help people use AI to benefit themselves. And I think that this is an interesting angle for content, for brands, for products. Now it seems like in 2026, and as things continue to evolve, and especially in light of the news with Midjourney medicine, it seems like there is more and more of this, and perhaps a brighter future for us on the health side because of it.
Yeah, you can see the consumer is really into this, which is really incredible. There's been a massive push away from very not great things that the consumer has been doing for the last couple of years. I won't name them here, but it's been pushed more towards the health trends of everything we've been seeing, some of which you just laid out. Also, on top of all of that, you talk about CPG, all of the consumer better for you foods that are just exploding right now. This is aligning directly in that, and you could see some great collaborations with some of those brands as well through this.
Producer Jack, let's bring Jingle Jared back. Whoa.
There we go.
There we go.
Here we go. Maejor, welcome to the show, brother. We appreciate you making the time to join us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course, man.
Good.
Jared was giving us background on how you guys met and worked on this frequency project together. Man, I'd love to hear about this. I mean,
Yeah.
of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
you've worked with so many people. Man, you won awards for this project. Man, I'd love to get your perspective on developing this and helping people with it.
Totally. Well, I love Jared. We've become great friends. He's awesome. I'm sure if you've hung out with him, you know how he is. And yes, he's right. That night he may have had a few drinks because the way that I remember it was Justin was like, "Yo, this guy's pitching me something crazy right now. Please, like, handle this."
Yes.
And I'm used to that because but honestly, I met him and I had the intention of wanting to get out of producing only standard music for the industry and for different worlds. And he said, "Hey, I'm Jingle Jared." And I was like, "Oh, Jingles. Okay, this is really cool." And he was so charming and funny and just really smart around music. And so I was like, this guy's a really interesting guy. Let's connect. And at the time, like I said, I was going through recovering a cancer journey. So I'm a survivor of cancer. And so I was starting to look into different ways that wellness can be explored, especially in our craft, with sound, from the scientific, from the spiritual, and from ways of music, all the ways that sound can be used for wellness. And something that we listen to every day and something that we do all the time, listening to music. How can we be really intentional about that? And with Jared's super creative mind, he was able to kind of take that, something that I would be in the labels pitching, like, guys, we're going to use music and for wellness. And they'd be like, I don't know about that. Jared was able to take that story and kind of make it make sense to all of the great team at Audible and to everyone around it. And it became a huge hit because I think it was just something that was genuine, something that was true, and something that was timely. And now, you see all of these people, like you said, looking for ways to escape burnout, anxiety, stress.
Yeah.
So coming in with something like that, we were pretty early on the curve, and I'm super grateful for that.
In true just like happy accident form, as I started this relationship with Audible, this was the early days of podcasting. That I listen sometimes, obviously I talk a lot, but I overheard on one of their meetings that they said that wellness was going to be a big category they were going after, and the serendipity of Maejor going, I think it sounds crazy, but he's like, I think you can change people and the world through frequencies, which I learned that there is absolutely truth to that project, where it was a merging of two parts of my brain. Let's do some good stuff, but also let's figure out how to get paid to do it. That ended up becoming one of the bigger visual embodiments of what could be done with podcasting. And Maejor just hit it out of the park. The actual podcast itself feels like a very rich book that you can revisit. It's evergreen, but we got the big billboards in New York and in LA on Sunset, which they typically reserve for like when presidents are writing books or like the most famous people in the world. And it was fun because as we, again, like I'm on the business side of things, Maejor is on the pure creator side, but he's also has a business mind. But nothing is better for raising money for your company than being able to drive down Sunset and show potential investors that you put that up there with your partners. So
I believe that.
It was very cool. And Maejor is did multiple sequels off that, and he has something really awesome coming up with us. We're going to VidCon, which is one of the biggest creator conferences in the world, the week after next, and he's hosting a panel with myself and one of the people from Suno on digital burnout, on how the pluses and minuses of the world that we live in digitally, and how we can sort of avoid depression and burnout. And that's been, I think, another just merging of passion points in our world. I like to look and pretend like everything's always awesome and peachy keen
Yeah.
in my world. But I will tell you that post-COVID era, it's, I live between two worlds of the physical and getting out and still doing my performative business doing, but the sort of weird empty void of us living in these screens. And I mean,
Yeah.
Major can talk more to it because he's really seen the full spectrum of how this stuff impacts creators.
Absolutely. Yeah. Please, Major.
Absolutely. I mean, well, burnout has been a huge reason that a lot of people, companies are losing revenue and efficiency from their workers from burnout. I'm sure maybe you guys have experienced it with all the social
Totally.
media, with all of the digital. There's a constant comparison, a constant anxiety producing effect. So they've seen, even if you look at all these big companies, Apple, Google, all of these, they've building divisions and areas where people can literally attack this and work on this. With the youth, there's higher and higher growing anxiety rates, even suicidal thoughts, and all of these things. And so, it's something that we've really thought about. I worked together recently with National Geographic on a series called Earth Moods Frequencies Volume 1, and it takes basically music from different places in the world, all with the intention of kind of calming and relaxing the nervous system, because our stress has been through the roof these days. Everybody's just constantly on go. With it's like the yin and yang of having the access to these tools and being able to connect with anyone in the world, and then also at all times being able to connect with everyone in the world. And so, we're just trying to create tools that give people the opportunity to kind of settle down, to have a moment of peace. And then I believe that when that happens, you tap into that inner system of healing, just like we get the right sleep, the right diet, the right everything, that our system starts to heal itself and we can start to be the best version of ourselves. So this is our mission, and we're rocking on with it.
Jared,
And look, just to add to that, one last thing is people see these kids who become millionaires playing video games online or streaming. Look, even what you guys are doing, but you guys are out of a passion of a specific category.
Yeah.
I don't think that people realize how much time and dedication it takes to build an always on strategy. And a part of our thing, even with Rebel, is that hopefully we have some tools that give you more time to get out and go for a hike or spend time with your family and do all that stuff. Like, that's the goal, is that the hard work we're doing now will create some scalable tools so you can actually step away, and maybe that will again be the byproduct of the hustle that we're doing now.
I like that.
Jared, I'd love for you to talk about your personal experience in dealing with kind of this healing frequency and going through kind of your before and after journey, potentially before leading towards, potential burnout or just exhaustion. And now you're going through this and you're on the other side a lot better for it.
Honestly, like, again, I'm very open book with who I am and what I am, and I know that I'm a lot for people sometimes. But like when we recorded the first version of Major Frequency, we went up to Blackberry Farm, which is one of the most exotic places in America. If you just get a chance, you should look at it. It's in a rainforest in America. I didn't even know there were rainforests in America. And Major, I was there and I was like, "Ooh, we're gonna make so much money!" Like we're getting all excited to make this like commercial. And my body chemistry, my brain slowed down and changed just as a result of him recording music with us in different frequencies over a 4-day period. We did like a sound bath. That's a very un-Jared thing for me to do. I was weeping. I fell asleep and started snoring and ruined it for everybody. But like it's real. Like, I mean, as someone who, I believe that a few things, there's magic in the world, and I used to not believe that, but I think money is magic. I think music is magic, and I think people are magic. And like when you tap into the right frequencies of life, that's why we have people that some people are okay at what they do and some people are exceptional because they tap into a frequency or a magic of the universe, whether that is a Justin Bieber or a Beatles. Like at one point or another, they have the frequency that communicates with the whole world. And money, I've had this bizarre relationship with it where I'm like this old cowboy who makes and spends and up and down and all this stuff. But anytime I've needed it or wanted it, and I focus, it finds me. So it's like I used to take advantage, I think, of the gifts that were given to me, but spending time with Major and going through a firsthand proof of that these things do exist without him being preachy to me was kind of interesting. And only, again, Major knows most parts of my personality, the good, the bad, the otherwise. And like, it really was. And all the good things that happened as a result of doing a good thing, which was being successful, winning awards, educating people. It was actually I like talking about it. I have chills, to be honest.
Wow. I mean, Chris, you want to go ahead?
No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
I feel like this this thing, Maejor, that you're describing.
Yeah.
I feel like it has such teeth to it, and we're seeing this trend of, hey, I've developed these incredible skills inside of my niche.
Yeah.
Now in 2026, I want to take that and utilize that to benefit myself and impact people in a really positive way. We're seeing this happen across the category in consumer, be it with AI apps, be it with like better for you products, be it, like having adaptogens in your tea and all kind of things. Like we're seeing this a lot, and I find this powerful. Your work with Justin Bieber, your work with Drake, and all of this, and creating these platinum, albums and such, and now having this desire. I want to take these skills that I have and help people heal and experience peace via frequency. I find this fascinating.
No, thank you. I mean, I believe totally in kind of how you described it as like there's some teeth in there, and I call it the ripple effect. And I believe that every interaction, every encounter, kind of what Jared described as well, like everything kind of ripples out into eternity. So the way that we are here will affect how we treat the next people, how we experience the world, how we see things. And so, if we can keep putting out things, like Jared said, that are positive, that are good, creates that magic, creates that frequency, that resonance. Kind of like if you put two guitars in one space and you pluck one, the other one starts to vibrate at that same rate. So it's like resonance is constantly happening with people. Someone will say, oh, this person has a good vibe or a bad vibe, and so I think that if we can continue to put out intentions that are good, it ripples out and it really does affect everything. And now, like you just described, you're seeing it in different industries, different sectors. Everybody's wanting to be the best version of themselves. So I'm happy to be a part of that wave.
Maejor, I mean, I would love to personally, selfishly ask you a question where Chris and I run probably at 130 miles an hour every single day for this live show.
We do.
How do we tune our frequency to be more in line with everything else?
Yeah.
How do we personally, us two, get our frequencies tuned in? Because we are running nonstop every single day, and I would love to find some more zen.
That's why I got so many energy drinks up here, Maejor. I need some help. I need some help.
Right. So it sounds like you guys have no problem with the going. One thing that maybe would be helpful for you is the slowing down part. Taking that moment of, and for different people that looks differently. For some people that looks like meditation. For some people to sit there and just sit down with nothing is a little bit, especially when you've got a lot going on. Some people that's not for them, and so that's why we created even some of the tools that you can find on Major Frequency and some of the experiences I just described is like music that can maybe you can have a few moments of peace, stillness. Stillness is that place where you can kind of take a moment to actually listen to what's going on in your mind and listen to, take a breath and actually, focus on your breath and be present and be here. I think just taking those consistent moments of that. Some people like to do it in the form of breath work. Some people like to do it even in the form of taking a walk. But I do think that if you're running, especially like you guys who are just constantly going, if you don't take that time, and sometimes we don't want to do it because we think, well, I'm going to miss out. But in reality, if we don't take that time to take a breath, to take a moment of peace, to take a moment of stillness, either it's just listening to that calming music or doing that breath work, or sometimes sitting in silence, for me is how it looks, then we will burn out and then we won't be as efficient in the long term.
Right.
And so, by keeping that in our memory, I think that it reminds us of the importance of taking that moment. I think daily is good, even maybe twice daily, but just even if it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, to just sit somewhere, take a few breaths, and then you can hit it at 140, for the rest of the day.
Exciting. Gentlemen, man, we appreciate you guys making the time
Thank
to join
you.
us. Before you leave,
Thank
though,
you.
we got to hear, I just got to say, number one, I think this is an incredible angle on the benefit now, like you underscored, Jared, that you're hoping Rebel brings to people like ourselves and other creators, brand owners, founders, operators leaning into media, podcasting, etc. with Rebel, allowing people to disconnect more by using the tech available to us today. And I'd love to, and I also think, Maejor, this upcoming National Geographic project, I'm really interested in, and I want to take that thing in. And I'd love if you guys would, before you go, tell us, man, where to get the content, follow you guys as far as VidCon and the upcoming panel, where to take things in, and so that we can stay up to date.
So for my side, I'll go quick, and then Maejor, you do your thing. We have VidCon coming up, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. We have a panel. They can find it at VidCon on the website, and it's going to be on Digital Burnout. In the meantime, Maejor and I have also been around the world, and I'm going back to one of my favorite places, Cannes Lion. I just, like an old cowboy, found all my old trophies. I have one.
Let's go!
Three. I almost forgot I had these. Like,
let's go, baby.
It's almost like I won an award, and now it's becoming more relevant. This is the first year where it's all creators going. When Maejor and I used to go, it was all the advertisers like WPP and Coke and Burger King, and that was that. This is the first year where it's now shifted, where I think it's so crazy because part of my mental meditations that Maejor has made me more aware of is it's like I don't stress myself out that much about the future anymore because there's nothing more that I could do to put anything else on the wall that if I was telling my story at a bar or to a stranger would make it more additive or create more aura. He's like, I think that I've learned just to be in it and also be silly about it as well. It's like, I like the old cowboy routine. It's like, been there, done that. Now I'm playing for the extra chips on the table. And that's probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned from Maejor. And just in terms of frequency, getting out of the house, being around people you like, and just doing stuff like this. I really believe in what you guys are doing too. And I'm a big believer in creators. And I think that you guys, with the brand you're building, it's just exceptional. So 2 things, Cannes Lion next week, VidCon, and Maejor, over to you.
Let's go.
Absolutely. So now I've been incorporating this into many albums and in different projects. So you can get some of this frequency magic actually in the new album from Bieber. As well as we released the first project of National Geographic, Earth Moods Frequencies. We released the first one. It's available everywhere. Just type in Earth Moods Maejor National Geographic Volume 1, and we'll be releasing Volume 2. It explores a frequency from each part of the world. It's kind of like each one of us has a unique frequency, a unique vibration that's only you. And when we come together, we play a beautiful symphony. As well as I've just completed a book as well called The Love Frequency, which will be released through Hay House. So this was coming out next year. So just constantly putting out good vibes every moment. And look forward for more frequency magic.
Incredible. Well, we're
working on something big actually too with Rebel, where it's combining wellness and podcasting. So we're still putting the pieces together, but stay tuned for that world premiere.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Amen.
Wow.
Baby.
Okay. Well, we're in on the world premiere. I mean, we're down. We're down.
Ready.
You let us know, and we're going to be tuned in, and we want to talk it, listen to it, watch it, all of the things. Gentlemen, we appreciate all that you're doing in our space to keep founders and the good people on planet Earth from burning out. Man, we look forward to having you back. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Wow.
Cheers.